All right, so today we're going to be talking about design thinking, and this is evolved in the age of the internet and um, websites and apps and how people interact with those websites and apps. So design thinking is also called human-centered design, and it's about building empathy, understanding the people who will be using your creations. And it was developed by David Kelly and Tim Brown. So, how do we do this? So, we empathize, we define, we ideate, and we prototype. So, within empathizing, um, you are directed to observe humans and seeing the problems from their perspective. So, with this app project, you will be doing a low fidelity prototype with paper and then testing it out on somebody to see how they interact and are they interacting with this paper prototype correctly. So you, as you're doing this, you need to understand the challenges the human has. And we've done research, um, gathering inspiration. So with that research, you also looked at other apps that are doing similar things. And so once we do this, we define, identify, and document the problems the user's having with your paper prototype. Tell stories. So there's also a storyboard that you can tell the story about how the the user is going about their day and at what time of day do they use this device. What are the what are the means in which they're like, oh, I need to use this device now. And you're also searching for meaning with this device. And you're also finding opportunities for solutions. And so that is the tools that you are creating with your app to help save time for the user. Then you ideate. Based on your ideas, you come up with findings. Uh, as many ideas to address a problem as possible. That is sketching. Sketch out your ideas before you go to the paper prototype. Generating ideas with the sketching, and then refining ideas with the rough sketches. Then we prototype. So you test your ideas by rapidly building prototypes, and so the paper prototype is easier to create than something out of software. So it's easily done. So you're not committed to a design. And so with that paper prototype, you can print out the iPhone schematics that are on Blackboard, sketch them up, and do a page for each window of your app. And then as a person goes to the first page and then taps on something to go to the next page, then you like put the next page down on top of that so you can see how they interact with that particular particular interaction. So you make prototypes, get feedback, and so you're looking at the user and how they're working with it, and then you're testing again with the user, and then you rework it. So the paper prototype is a spot in time in which you are trying to figure out, is it working? Then you have to rework it to make until it works. You test, you rework, then you test again, and then you rework again until the test goes cleanly. So you get ideas, then you prototype, and then you test, and then you go through the process over and over and over again. It's a mindset intended to identify and solve problems. Done can be done in a collaborative, multidisciplinary team, and you can explore solutions with prototypes. Watching the person deal with your app, you are building empathy. You can do this with a team approach, and this will help you fully understand the needs and the wants of the user using your prototype. As you're doing this, look for various types of user needs. And sometimes you just don't go with the core demographic of, who would usually be using this, but maybe some fringe elements. So ambiguity can be stressful. And so this will help kind of define and clean up any ambiguity. This is not as much of a process, but a mindset. So approach hard questions with ambiguity. And so there are many answers to a question. So with this, you have a mindset of 6 characteristics. Ask what if. Look at it with optimism, human empathy, experimentation, collaboration, and experienced focus. So ask what if. Big idea and unusual perspectives. Ideas that can build on one another. Optimism. Strive for a great solution with a good attitude in the pursuit. Human empathy. Place yourself in the user's shoes. Many types of users. Experimentation. Fast prototypes. Iterate ideas. Improve on the next version. This failure is good. Failure, you learn through failure. If we were successful every time, we would never learn anything. And focus on the key aspects of this app. Collaboration, work with experts from a wide variety of backgrounds, get outside perspectives. No idea is a bad idea. So experienced focus, always thinking of the full user journey. And what that means is, again, you want to think about at what point in time the user is going to interact with your device. When are they going to interact with your app? If you're thinking of like the Weather Channel app, at what time of day do they interact with that app? Do they interact with that app in the morning when they're trying to figure out what to wear that day? Are they interacting with that app when they are leaving the office to see if it's going to rain during lunchtime or on their way home? So always think about the full user journey throughout the day and at what point are they going to interact with your app.